Kia ora everybody, welcome to the CEO update for April 2024. Great to be here. Really important occasion today because we are doing two things today. It's my very last CEO update, which I'm obviously got very mixed feelings about, but really delighted to welcome Haydee Stroud for her very first CEO update. As many of you will know, Haydee was announced as the Acting CEO in the last couple of weeks. And delighted to welcome Haydee to have this little chat.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Richard, and thank you so much for the opportunity to be here and talk to you, and explore a bit of your journey over the last 7.5 years, and talk to some of our members.
Awesome. And I guess that's really what today's about. It's just a bit of a retrospective, talking about some of the key things over the last 7 years. And then at the end, we might flip the microphone and ask Haydee what she's most looking forward to. But Haydee, over to you.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you, Richard. And I'm going to pick up on what you said there, because it has been a journey. So, take us back to the early time. Take us back to October, November 2016, when you first came into the role. What was it like in the beginning?
So that's kind of really interesting. 2016 does feel like a lifetime ago, because it sort of is, maybe not a full lifetime. But look, the FSC was just in the process of coming out of a really difficult time, had just published one of the big reports into life insurance and remuneration and so on. And it really hit a nerve across the membership, which really stretched and stressed where the FSC was at. I remember having a cup of coffee with Rob Flanagan, who's still chair today, out on Ponsonby Road, just talking a bit about the role and the value that industry bodies bring to their members, bring to their stakeholders, and can bring to consumers. And we kind of spoke about vision ideas for what the FSC could do. I then went through a process, joined a process, and was thankfully appointed by the board towards November, I think it was, of 2016, and really was a rebuild role. The FSC's always had a fantastic membership, a really important place in the sector, but there was a real rebuild requirement to do. Trust in the membership, trust with our stakeholders, and trust across the broader community, and that's kind of what it was like. It was brick by brick, it was session by session, it was opportunity by opportunity, but slowly but surely we built a chorus and a momentum as people joined this new FSC, really focused on being the voice of the sector and then helping to make it a better place.
Well, when you talk about it like that, it really shows the challenge that you've walked into and the journey that you've really led over that period of time. Tell us, what are you most proud of over that time?
Look, I think when we started that journey, we probably had 29 odd members. Today we got 120 members. We were really focused on KiwiSaver and Life. Today we focus on KiwiSaver, Life, investment, health insurance, financial advice, Empower. It's a much broader community now, much broader church, much more important discussions to have, if you will, because the stakeholder group is so big. So we play a really important role. One of the really big moments of truth, if you will, is when we started the journey, Rob and I would have many conversations. One of the conversations was we wanted to be the voice of the sector. It was aspirational, because to be the voice of the sector, you actually have to have the sector in your membership, and we didn't. So the challenge there was to build out the membership. The other piece was, well, why would people join an industry body? Like, I'd come out and have come out of the sector. So what were the important issues? And the important issues we kind of ran on was around increasing the professionalism of the sector, increasing the sustainability of the sector, and making sure that we were very consumer-led and consumer-focused. And that's really held us in good stead, because it kept us, if you will, above the fray of competition. It kept us in the policy space. It kept us in the advocacy space. And as soon as we started to have those conversations across the sector and across stakeholders, I remember having lots of light bulb conversations, and I could see lots of light bulb moments that people said, when you manage in 2024 terms 100 billion of KiwiSaver dollars, when you insure and have over 4 million life insurance policies out of the sector, when you are paying billions of dollars of claims, and when you're advising New Zealand, that is a very onerous and trusting role to play. Of course, we have to coalesce together as a sector to focus on being better, not only better for ourselves, but better for the people that we serve. And that then naturally took us into the political fray and the political conversation, because politicians make policy, regulators regulate policy. We have an important voice to play in that. And that's really the place where we've forged really good ground. We're really proud of that progress over the last 7 years.
It's amazing. And some of the things that stick out to me there are around the sheer number of conversations that you've had along the way, the sheer number of people that are involved in the broader FSC community. I mean, we're talking 500 odd people engaged in and around committees, events, etc. We're talking a reach of thousands. There are our newsletters, our EDM. So have gone from that very small start to where we are now. And you had a lot of conversations along the way. So tell me about some of your favourite stories. Have you got one or two key moments?
Yeah, look, I'll just pick up that last point you made, which is, when I look around any big event that we produce, earlier this year, we were 400 people gathered. Was a new incoming minister, Bailey, and CEO of the FMA, Sam Barris. They were really kind of forging their blueprint for their next term. When I reflect on the conference of 2023, bringing people together in a stakeholder environment, building community, building policy, getting people learning with and through and from each other, very, very powerful. If there was a Coca-Cola formula to what we've done over the last 7 years and will continue to do, it's bringing those pieces together. But you've kind of got to bring it together with purpose, with passion, and obviously with research and evidence. And I think what we've been really careful to do, and I think we've done pretty well, is to bring that evidence through, but to kind of make it accessible, not just talking to ourselves in very techno speak, which is one of the hallmarks of the sector, but to talk it about in a way that consumers can understand. Because probably the biggest shift the FSC had 3 years ago now, as we shifted from being the voice of the sector as our main purpose to helping New Zealanders grow financial confidence and well-being. So we became from a very sector in look to a very sector out look, and that's opened so many doors for us. And so the stories to tell, look, there are so many wonderful stories, but in the early days, I do remember it was a vote. It was a vote of trust. I remember sitting with one particular CEO from an organisation who wasn't part of the FSC. We were having a bite of lunch together, and before we finished mains, the CEO said, "We're back in. We're committed." And subsequent to that, there's been many, many potential member conversations, where people have seen the value that we create, the purpose that we bring, the passion that we bring. And they said, "We want to join your journey." And so that's been fantastic. Of course, we've merged with, in the very early days, with Workplace Savings. I remember many conversations with the Workplace Savings community, who were justifiably quizzical and unsure and uncertain for a period, as we were as well. But that's manifested in, 1 + 1 can make 3 and 4. We then had that same conversation with the Health Funds Association. They came into the tent. Again, 1 + 1 + 1 equals 5 and 6 and 7. And then most recently, we've just merged with Women in Super and created the Empower community. So, there's an accretive purpose and value when a community stands together, because there's huge strength, huge capability, huge firepower in that. And, that's really respected by the people that we face into. Consumers, the media, the regulators, the political world. They see us, they see our unity, they see our reach, they see our strength. We should never take that for granted, but it's really been a really important part of what we've done.
That's amazing. And to bring it back to that purpose-led kind of approach, and of course, to your point, for New Zealanders, not just for the industry.
Yeah.
Which is lovely. I've got two more questions for you. One is very selfish, it's for me, and the other is to our members. So I'm going to lead with the selfish one first, which is you've built a legacy over the last 7.5 years. I'm here to help transition the FSC from that legacy to a new one. give me a hint or tip. What's your one bit of wisdom that you want to impart to me?
Yeah, industry bodies, when they function well, they can be super high functioning, and the reach becomes huge. You spoke about the 540 members that sit on our various committees, that our 1 + 1 + 1 can equal 6, 7, and 8. So, the tip is we're a member-based organisation. There are 120 organisations out there who trust us every day to turn up to work every day on their behalf and on behalf of the people they serve, which are consumers in New Zealand. So I think I've always kept that at the core. I think the other thing is, which you and I have spoken about a lot recently, is that the FSC is a custodian not of a member but of all members, and ultimately the reputation of the entire sector. And when we make decisions, sometimes it's difficult for a member as long as it's good for all members, and those are nuanced and difficult conversations, but I've got great faith, Haydee, that you will navigate those moments perfectly.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that, Faith. And my last question for you, and here's for our members. It's, this is, like you said right at the beginning, this is your last opportunity to have that conversation with our members and the wider reach. What do you want to tell that group? What's your final parting?
Look, it's pretty simple. It's just a huge thank you. The role of leading the FSC is a very weighty role. We've been talking a bit about that recently. When you lead an organisation, you can't lead if you don't have people around you, people following with you. Leadership doesn't live just in the leader. My view's always been actually everyone leads. So, how do we empower everyone to continue to lead? Because when people have remit and bandwidth and the opportunity to lead, collectively, we're in a much better space. And I think when I look at the success of the FSC, when we've been at our best, that's exactly what's happened. So that's the first message. The second one is thank you. It's been an absolutely wonderful journey. I turned up to New Zealand 8.5 years ago. I wasn't part of this community. I wasn't from this community. I've now had the opportunity to be a really key part of this community, help shape it, guide it, lead it. So, the legacy will be for others to determine. But it's been a huge privilege and a huge thank you to everyone right across the sector and beyond that I've had interaction with.
And thank you on behalf of everyone here. But I think you said that you were going to ask.
Let me just flip the roles, Haydee, if I can. You're coming into a new role. You've been part of the success of the FSC since day dot. You and I have had a long and very successful working relationship. You're now stepping into the chair. What are you most looking forward to?
Oh, look, it's such a humbling opportunity to be able to help the FSC, the team and the membership through this transitional period from you to the new person. So what am I most looking forward to? I'm looking forward to really making a difference. Yes, I absolutely agree in that purpose-led position, but I really see that we have a role to play, and I have a role to play in helping us, and that big us, the us of the FSC team, the us of the FSC members, our wider stakeholders, to make a difference. So that's what I'm most excited about, Richard.
Awesome. So thank you, Haydee, and well done on your debut in front of the camera. It's a really key part to be able to communicate and share with all of our stakeholders what's really going on. And on behalf of all the members, wishing you super well in your acting role. I'm sure they'll be hugely supportive. Folks, please feel free to reach out and support Haydee. For mine, like I say, it's been an amazing journey. I am heading back to Australia. I would love to see any and all coming through from the New Zealand community pop in. I mean, the downtown centre of Sydney, the coffee's always good. I hear on the grapevine the coffee is good, mostly. But yeah, I would look forward to seeing the FSC continue to grow and flourish and develop under Haydee's leadership and whoever comes after Haydee. So for now, kia ora, and see you around.